Hey everybody, Sean here from the Black Page, and we are with Jost. Jost, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you guys.
Everyone out there, Jost has graced us with his presence here and done another fantastic master class at our friend Andreas West Shore Music in Victoria, BC. Wonderful job, wonderful job. You've been traveling a lot lately. I heard and read on your blog. You traveled to a place not many people probably think of going.
Iran.
Iran, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Iran, yeah. Actually, there's somebody in Iran who used to live in Germany, and he came back because he wanted to live in his own country.
Okay.
He was homesick, and he decided to just have a drum school there.
Wow.
And so, of course, when you tell anybody, I'm going there, everybody's like,
right, yeah. So,
I knew of some drummers from Germany who had been there, so I asked them, how was it? And everybody was like, it was fantastic, man, I had the best time. And so I decided, yeah, let's give it a shot.
I couldn't imagine, like, I mean, they must have access to the internet, obviously,
Yeah.
But I mean, what did you get the sense of the styles of music that they would be interested in?
Well, not really, because I wasn't really. When I decided to go there, I just went there. I didn't really look for any information about the music styles. I just thought, well, I go there and talk to the people and meet the people, and most of the times it's just nice. Right? And it wasn't nice to stay, really. Of course, there's many problems in this country with the government, and we know all about that. But the people I met were the nicest people, really. And the hotel was great, really nice. It was like, wow, okay. And the food was great, the people were great, and I did like a 3-day masterclass there.
Okay.
And 80 drummers attended, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And played a little concert, and everybody I met was really interested in me getting a different impression from the country than you would have when you only read the news.
Sure,
And it sure was like that.
Yeah.
So I would always go back.
Yeah, good.
And as an American, you can't even go. You're not allowed to.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I don't know how Canadians.
I think we're a little more, we're less strict about that, but I know I've heard that. Of all the countries you've traveled to, Jost, what's some of the countries you enjoy the most?
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard to say. I would probably say the countries that you know of the least are most interesting.
Gotcha.
Because you meet interesting people and you see how they live, and basically I think most people just want to lead a decent life.
Right.
And want to work in a job that I enjoy working in, and want to make enough money to be able to afford decent living and all of that. So I think that's common with many people. Of course, when you think about Iran, there's many people that are too heavily into religion, and they are not interested in what I'm interested in. They're not interested in music, and all of that. So I didn't get to meet these people.
Sure.
But when I travel somewhere, it's always related to music, and so I always meet interesting people because they are interested in music, and they sometimes. One guy I met in Iran, for example, he told me that he's playing in an underground band, and that meant that they, in their lyrics, they criticize the system.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, and do you play gigs? And they're like, no, we're not playing gigs. We only play on private parties because if there's the death penalty on that, right?
Oh, wow.
So it's like such a different way of how they use music to express themselves, because they are living in such a rigid system.
Right.
And that's I was like, yeah, wow, that's dedication. That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
And so music is used as a way of expressing and a way of criticizing what they feel like they want to criticize in the country, and then they only play on private parties where they are really sure that no official government, nobody from the government is, because that would be too dangerous.
Right, yeah, so instead of, complaining about not making enough money, they could die.
Right.
Yeah, wow.
Right, and so that was really impressive.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Talk about dedication.
Right.
Wow.
And so, and when it comes to drumming, I think it's just the same everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, people are interested in improving
Yeah.
as drummers,
Yeah.
and I just show them what I think, or what worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Still works for me.
Right.
So it's just my point of view.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you have like 4 different drummers and they talk about the same topic, they will all have different angles.
Right. Yes.
And that's interesting. So I always tell students, sometimes I'm in situations where two teachers talk about the same topic and they say different things, and maybe these different things won't go together. And I'm like, yeah, that's great, because then you see that there's different ways of looking at these things,
Right.
and you just have to find out for yourself what works best for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that leads me to my next question. You've had some pretty substantial students. Annika was
Yeah.
one of your students, and Benny Greb, and of course our friend Andreas as well. What is I ask this of many teachers. It's one thing, of course, you teach and you teach the things you know, but what is one message you'd like your students or even people that you talk to walk away with regard to music or with regard to anything?
And that's hard. You mean like really specifically?
Or like, aside from playing, this is how
Yeah.
you play this.
Yeah.
What is your message musically? How do you like to, to get, the one message you like students to get from your clinics or your talks?
The thing is, I look at it like I'm only offering my viewpoints,
Yeah.
and I tell them this is what works for me, and they do with it whatever they want to do with it. And for example, Annika, she was really one of the few students I had.
Right.
At this, she was studying at a very, very, very good music school, the best
Okay,
music school
yeah.
in Germany, and I'm teaching there.
Okay.
And not all of these students really practice the stuff I give them.
Right.
Some just don't,
Right.
because they have too many rehearsals and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them, and I don't feel offended. I'm like, I know this is good,
Yeah.
and you can use it, but if you don't, that's your decision.
Right.
And Annika, for example, she was practicing a lot, and she was really sounding good with everything I gave her. It was like, yeah, okay, I'll try this, and then she was like, I don't know, let me play it to you, and it sounded really, really very good.
Wow.
So she was, maybe I struck a nerve on her,
Right. Yeah.
So, and some people can't really relate to how I approach
Right.
playing and teaching, and some people really can, and she really could.
Yeah. Right.
So it's always, I'm offering things, and what they make out of it is just their decisions.
It's up to them.
So I'm not about, I want you to do this. It's just more, I offer something,
Gotcha.
and if you do it or not, it's your decision.
Yeah, it's their path.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, who or what? How did you get bit by the drum bug?
Yeah, it was, I remember clearly, I was about 10 years old, and a friend of mine who was 10 years too, had a little trap kit, you call it, right?
Yeah.
And I still remember sitting in his room, and he was like, I want to play something to you. I have this drum kit, and I turned on some music, and I'm going to play with you. And I remember thinking to myself, this is not going to be any good.
Right.
And I was like, okay. and it was so good, it was so beautiful, and I was like, wow, I want to do this too.
Cool.
And I went home to my mother and told her I want to play drums, and she was like, yeah, okay. And next day I told her again and again and again, and then she was testing my will. She told me, well, okay, drum kit is really expensive. If you, every time the dishwasher is ready, and if you empty the dishwasher, you get 50 cents.
Okay.
Okay?
Wow.
And just do it. And I did that for a few weeks or
Yeah.
months. I don't remember exactly. And I maybe had like, I don't know, I maybe emptied it like 100 times or so.
Right, yeah.
Asking every day, can you turn it on, please? I want. And then she said, okay, her mother said, why don't you buy him a drum kit?
Right.
Everything's getting more expensive anyway, so
Yeah.
you should do it now. And she
Yeah.
was like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you a drum kit. And since then, never, I was so excited about it, I enjoyed playing so much, it never left me.
Yeah.
I remember my brother, who's a guitar player, and he's a very good player. He's a professional player too, but he's in a different way. He's not a guitar virtuoso, but he's very good at finding interesting lines and stuff. And I was practicing a lot, and he was asking me, aren't you afraid that if you practice this much, that someday you won't want to play because you're playing so much?
So much, yeah.
I'm like, no. And it stayed like that. It still is the thing, apart from being with my family and all that private stuff. Still is the thing that's most interesting. Sometimes I feel like it makes me feel a little strange because you spend so much time on the kit, and you work on stuff that only a few people can really appreciate.
Right.
Because to really be able to appreciate what somebody is doing, you have to know to a certain point you have to know what they are doing, right?
Yeah.
If you only listen to a drummer and you don't have any idea what playing drums is about, you probably look for the wrong things in the beginning.
Right, yeah.
And so sometimes I feel a little strange because I spend so much time on the instrument. But then I tell myself, well, that's just what I love doing, and it has nothing to do with, I need to, if I spend 2 more hours on it, I'll be able to do that. That is going to be this. That is going to get me this gig or anything. It's it's just about passion.
Exploration.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's just my passion. Yeah.
Who were some of your earliest influences?
Well, I think probably my teacher got me into Steve Gadd.
Oh, okay.
And there's a transcription book. It's only by a guy from, I think, Denmark, his name is Hans.
Okay.
And he wrote this book, and it's just Steve Gadd solos and grooves.
Right.
And my teacher gave me the book, and we worked out of the book, and I didn't even, to that point, I had never listened to Steve Gadd. So I just had the book.
Right.
And I enjoyed playing the grooves so much that I was curious how does it really sound like. And then my teacher gave me some, not CDs, records back then, and that was probably the first guy. And then I heavily got into the Police, so Stewart Copeland, and then of course into all the drummers that Sting used when he went solo. Yeah, the first one was Omar Hakim.
On Blue Turtles.
That's so good. If you listen to this, it's like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it still is so good.
Yeah.
The sound is a lot 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of reverb.
A little dated production.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, man.
The intent is there.
Well, the way Omar Hakim plays these grooves and the way, it's still pop music, but he just, it's so interesting how he plays it, and he plays it so well. You can listen, it's going to be good in 100 years from now. It's just so good. And then the next drummer, I remember buying his next CD, and I was so disappointed that Omar Hakim is not playing anymore.
Right.
And it was Manu Katché, and I was like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And then my teacher said, well, I really like it. It's really good, and he really told me what is good about it. And then I started really liking what Manu Katché played.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that was like 2 CDs with Manu Katché, and then, of course, Vinny. Amazing. Yeah.
And such prolific players to play with a prolific songwriter, and Sting, such a musical person.
Yeah.
That's a whole other stuff.
I just on a like a 4-day masterclass, I met the percussion player who was playing with Sting.
Oh.
And we just were talking about anything, and then he told me, do you want to see the set list from our last gig?
Oh wow.
I'm like, yeah. They showed me set list, and I knew every song, and mostly everybody knows every song. There's so many hits. Yeah. It's really impressive. And obviously is into very good drummers. Yeah.
I mean, he started with the best. And
you
gotta keep going, right?
Yeah. But I think that he never really, I have the impression, I don't know if that's true, but he never really appreciated what Stewart Copeland was doing.
No, I don't think fully. No,
No,
I don't think a lot of people appreciated at the time what Stewart Copeland was doing. And I know there's many videos of Sting giving him a dirty look for his tempo was really bad. At the time. But I don't know that. Yeah, I think that was. I think it comes from being in the band too. There's personal tension.
Yeah, yeah. And there's one interview Sting did when the Police reunited.
Yeah.
For like 2 years, I think they
Yeah.
did. And Sting was asked by the interviewer, so what's the main difference between playing with the Police as opposed to playing alone?
Yeah.
And Sting's like, well, the main difference is I can't fire anybody.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
says a lot.
Yeah.
And then there's like some rehearsal footage
Yeah.
on the DVD, or I can't really remember if it was live CD. I think it was live DVD. And Stewart Copeland was playing this great fill,
Mhm.
and Sting was giving him this look. Come on, man. Shit. And Stewart Copeland gets up and says like, "This fill is gonna be a fucking modern drummer." And then, so yeah, I don't know, but the Police without any of the other musicians wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah, no.
And this, I think they made five CDs, 5 records.
Mm.
Yeah, and every one of them is really good, and the drumming is
Mhm.
outstanding. And
Amazing.
Vinny Colito is a big fan of him too.
Yeah,
right? Of Stewart
yeah.
Copeland. Yeah.
And then just how I often find it interesting with Stewart, he's such an anarchist when it comes to drumming, because if you told him he couldn't tune the toms too tight, he would tune the toms
Yeah.
too tight. The snare, he said the snare he used on all his records is this old crappy $100 bargain
That's
bin
nice.
snare.
Yeah.
That he said, if you tell me I can't do it, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it sound good.
Yeah.
So, he's an amazing talent,
Yeah.
obviously. You have a new book out
That's right.
that the folks at home should probably know about. Jost Nichols' Groove book. How did you, what sparked the desire to do, was this your first book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did this come from?
Yeah, the thing is, since I spent 10 weeks at Drums Collective in New York,
That's right, yeah.
and they were all about being conceptual about your playing,
Mhm.
and so that really inspired me to write down. Since then, I always made up my own exercises because they gave me the tools to do that.
Yeah.
And so I just wrote down what I wanted to work on, and then for years I did that, and I always felt like I wanted to write a drum book, but I couldn't really decide what topic.
Okay.
Because I could have written a book about fills or snare rudiments or anything, because
Yeah.
the systems they told me work with anything. And then all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to write a book about groove.
Okay.
It was just
Yeah.
like spontaneous decision.
Gotcha.
And because the thing is, I really enjoyed working out of the Steve Gadd book I told you about.
Yeah.
And if you don't know it, you can download it. You have to look for Hans Fagt. It's Hans and then Fagt.
Okay.
And if you give him your email address, you can download it for free.
Oh, wow.
And so I had so much fun working out of this book, and 2 more books I really liked working out of were Future Sounds by David Garibaldi,
Yeah.
and Advanced Funk Drumming by Rick Levin.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to write a book that is enjoyable, you know.
Yeah.
And of course you can write books about systems and be very systematic in your book, but then many parts of the book won't be really enjoyable, and it won't really sound good because it's only the system that tells you to play this way.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do both. I wanted to have a book that's fun to work out of,
Yeah.
and I wanted to have a book where everything that's in the book really sounds good.
Yes.
And another thing I wanted to do is, as opposed to the David Garibaldi book or the Rick Levin book, what I missed in these books was they didn't really explain how they came up with this.
Yeah.
They just wrote down nice grooves, and they're all great, but so I came up with I really thought about how do I come up with stuff.
Yeah.
I had to analyze my own playing again.
Yeah.
And then I found some systems to make the people So that the people are able to create their own groups by using these systems. They're really simple, but you have to get into it a little. Some people just want to play what I wrote down, which is fine too, but then there's chapters in the book where you can come up with your own linear grooves, or your own ghost note patterns, and more stuff like that. And so, of course, you can't write a groove book which covers all styles, any groove and so.
It'll be this thick.
Yeah. So actually, I had a lot more stuff, but at some point I decided, well, it can't be too much.
Right. Yeah.
So there's no shuffle groove in there, not any triplet groove.
Right.
So I'm planning on writing at least 2 more books. One book is going to be about fills. I already started that. Yeah. And I want to write a book about shuffles too, because I think you can write a whole book about shuffles, like half-time shuffles.
Yeah.
How to come up with ghost notes and all that, because some people just don't know how to come up with your own patterns. I think it's not so difficult. You just have to know how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But
it's the knowledge base.
Yeah. So I wanted to give them systems how to come up with their own groups.
Yeah. It's published through Alfred Publishing. You can get this probably online through
Amazon. .ca. We're in Canada now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
What?
Yeah.
Wherever country you're in, it'll just give you.
Yeah. Right.
We shared an affinity and a brotherhood with the aquarium company.
Right.
Chris and I were discussing you you have a very simple setup with regard to the drum heads. Let's talk a little bit about your setup and what you came to the conclusion of each drum head and kind of why you pick the lines you do.
Okay, first of all, I was when I decided to try out aquarium heads, I was on tour, and I thought I won't tell anybody. I just put these heads on and wait for comments. Right? Because I wanted to the monitor guy and the front of house guy. I wanted them to not know that I changed anything. Okay. And I got really positive comments on the sound. Right. So I thought, okay, that's good. Yeah. And why? Yeah, I just I looked at because when you don't know the lines, it's hard to tell. And I wanted to play coated heads on the toms and the snare, and on most drums I prefer single ply heads. Okay. Not if the shells are really thick. I prefer double ply. Did you say double ply? Yeah. Double ply heads. But the drums I used had really thin shells, so And I like using texture coated, which is a single ply coated head on top and bottom of all drums, except for the snare drum. The bottom has obviously a snare drum head. And with bass drum heads, I like single ply heads as well, so I chose forced one. Forced ones, clear. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Which, I mean, the super kicks, always everyone talks about that, but the forced one, I've heard some of your stuff, and it sounds amazing. And the thing is, then Chris Brady, who's the guy who works at, very nice guy. Yeah. He after like 2 months when we decided to work together after the test on the tour, he wrote me a message that one of the other drummers who's using Aquarium, a guy named Mike Johnston, wanted to know what heads I used because he liked the sound. Yeah. And back then I didn't know Mike. Okay. We had never met and I didn't know often. Yeah. It was just somebody who wasn't on my radar. Yeah. So I wrote back, this and that. And then Mike and I got to know each other. Yeah, that was interesting because he was into the super kick head before. And now he's using Force One. Force One. Yeah. And so your tom choices I find interesting as well. They're very simplistic, but again, what are you using on your toms? Texture coated. Texture coated, and your snare. Texture coated as well. Simple, right? Yeah. But old school. Yeah. Much like Roy. And what thing I love about Roy and Chris and Aquarium is just their simplicity in their lines, the simplicity in the way they do business with their endorsement people. And what I found really interesting about Aquarium heads is that they stay in tune longer than any other brand. Yeah. Really. Yeah. Because sometimes with the band I'm playing in Germany who's really successful, so what we do, I have 2 drum kits I only use with this band. One is always stored for live gigs and the other one is always in the studio. So sometimes it happens that I don't play that one kit for like 2 months. and I hardly ever have to adjust the tuning because it's just there.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Night after night, especially when you're playing as much as
Yeah.
you do. We are going to see you in the next few weeks. Where can people come and see you, visit you?
I actually, well, no, this is not going to be out before Monday, right?
Before Monday, no.
So on Monday, when you see this, and it has already passed,
Yeah.
but I'm going to be at Drumeo. Yeah, and then let's call it a year because the year is nearly over. So I'm going to be doing a few more things here in Canada and the US this December, and then next year, I'm going to start with. Yeah, I'm playing right. January is always quite slow
Yeah.
when it comes to playing gigs. There's no tours.
Right. Yeah.
Basically. So I'm doing a little masterclass thing in Germany, and then in February I'm going on tour with the guitar player I'm playing with a lot from San Francisco. His name is Barry Finnerty.
Okay.
He's a legend. He used to play with Miles Davis and
Right.
Joe Cocker,
Yeah.
and
Heard the name. Yeah.
probably you know the song Street Life.
Mhm.
Street Life, na 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 na. Street Life, for a nickel, right?
Yes.
He played guitar on that one, and
Okay.
so he's a very good friend of mine, and we're going to play a tour in Germany because he's coming over, and that's great. Yeah.
And you're going to Memphis soon, I understand.
Yeah.
To the Memphis
Drum show.
Wonderful. And is it you're doing a clinic there?
Actually, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do
Okay.
there. I think
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to shoot a few videos for mysymbol.com.
Oh, good.
That's what I do there.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
So people can get in touch through your website,
Right.
jostnickel.com,
Yeah.
and can just you do your blog so you'll keep
Right.
everyone updated.
Nowadays it's so easy to reach somebody, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
Twitter,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Don't forget the book.
Don't forget it.
Could get a couple, 3 more at least before. Thanks very much, Jost. Pleasure.
Thanks.
Black
Likewise.
Page Readers, Facebook, like, share, tweet, all that kind of good stuff. Questions for Jost, feel free to get in touch, and myself as well.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
You
Awesome.
didn't talk about my shoes.
Ah,
These are really good.
Well,
looking
let's talk
at-
about them
Yeah.
now.
Oh, okay.
That'll be
Okay,
the
we're
lead.
still rolling.
we're still rolling. Well, this will be the outtakes.
Yeah.
But the color, what are the colors? Because I first saw this and I thought, well, aquarium.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, he's not that big of
Oh.
an
They
aquarium.
ran out of it.
But what the color? Why the colors?
I saw them on the internet, and it's more like purple, like, but they look more bluish in
Yeah.
the photo.
I've never seen such
Yeah.
bright shoes in my life.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I have blue cons, so that is blue.
Yeah, that's blue. That's
Yeah,
more like
yeah,
purplish.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like them.
yeah,
Yeah, I had them for a few years, but I never really wore them. So
yeah,
yeah, I do it like Questlove.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta let them simmer a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you wear them. Yeah,
Right.
Then you're making a statement.
Yeah. So that's my shoe statement.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, now
Outtakes.
outtakes.
nice.